Good afternoon, Carolina viewer. Today we have the meeting with the Missy, the Stacie,
Stacie McGinn.
yeah, Stacie McGinn. She the senator of the North Carolina. Thank you very much for you talking sometime about this short interview with the North Carolina as Carolina TV. First on, please introduce a little about yourself.
It's my pleasure to be here today, and to be here with your listeners. Um, well, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am the daughter of a West Point graduate. My father was a pilot in the Air Force and is a decorated veteran of 3 wars, including the Vietnam War. My mother attended Rice, was one of the first women to attend Rice University, where she got a degree in architecture. And then she put her career on hold while she raised 5 children. I was raised in a traditional American middle-class family, but taught the important values that I think are important to the Vietnamese community as well as other Americans, namely faith, family, the importance of education, and most importantly, love of country.
We are very happy what we have the opportunity to meet with you. Hello, ma'am. You are Republican candidate running for the North Carolina State Senator in the 2026 election. What project do you have when you be in the North Carolina State Senator election to serve the people?
Well, thank you for that. That's right. I'm running for North Carolina Senate, for the North Carolina Senate, as a Republican. I was the Republican nominee last year, and I lost that race by a mere 209 votes. That's 209 votes out of 124,000 votes cast. So it was one of the closest races in the state of North Carolina. So first and foremost, I need to make sure we make up that difference and then some in terms of the vote, so that we really can take this North Carolina seat as a Republican seat. Today, you might be surprised to know there's not a single Republican serving in the General Assembly who lives in Mecklenburg County and understands the challenges that we have here in Mecklenburg County. First and foremost among those challenges, I think, is crime. We've seen in each of the last 2 years, Charlotte has made national attention as a consequence of horrendous crimes. Most recently, the stabbing of Irina Zarutska, an immigrant, on the light rail. So the legislature needs to take action. As you recall, last year we had police shootings. We had 8 police officers who were shot, 4 killed. And at that time, I wrote an article with Dan Bishop that was published in the Carolina Journal, and we pointed our finger at the judicial system here at Mecklenburg County and made specific recommendations for change. Most specifically, what needs to happen is we need to make sure that our magistrates who are serving in the courthouse are looking at the records of these repeat criminals, and if they find that they are a flight risk or they're likely to commit crimes in our community, they should be held in jail and not let out on bail. The problem in both cases, last year with the police shootings and more recently with Irina Zarutska, is the magistrate let a repeat criminal back into our communities to commit the horrendous crimes they did.
Yeah. Regarding the economy and the increase of food, gas, and electric affect the people live, do you have any program to improve it?
Absolutely. I'm a former executive at Bank of America and a lawyer, a Georgetown trained lawyer. So I've worked on economic issues my whole life. And I think first and foremost, we want to continue to see the Charlotte economy grow and create good jobs for the young people who are coming out of college and graduating from high school. So continuing to promote economic growth is paramount in my mind. And secondly, we want to keep taxes low. Your General Assembly today, which is controlled by the Republicans, has lowered taxes. When I came here 20 years ago, the tax rate for individual tax rate was 7%. Today, it's closer to 4%, and the current plan is to lower it further still. And so that means the average American has more take-home pay at the end of the day.
I see. About regarding the education, where do you stand on improving student life?
Yes, well, I think education is probably the most important thing for us to focus on here in North Carolina. First of all, I do support school choice, which has been adopted now by your Republican-controlled General Assembly. I don't think a child should be stuck in a failing school solely because of the zip code where they live. Rather, parents should have the ability to take the money that's currently been spent on that child at public school and go to a private school if they think it's appropriate. Or in many cases, they're Christian or religious schools. So I fully support school choice. Now, having said that, the vast majority of children here in Charlotte will continue to go to public schools. So we need to and the public school system today is not doing a very good job of educating these children, as test scores show. The proficiency rates of children in the 4th and the 8th grade in reading and math are very low. We're finding they're just not proficient coming out of the public schools. So we need to change that. And that starts early. First of all, parents share responsibility. Parents need to be reading to their children at a young age and watching what their children are doing, making sure they do their homework. But secondly, we need to start at a much younger age in preschool, identifying children who are struggling either in reading and math and bringing them up, giving them the extra help they need so that they can pass these exams and demonstrate proficiency by the 4th grade. I think that needs to be a top priority of our school system, and if additional legislation is needed in order to make that happen, I'm prepared to go to Raleigh and fight on behalf of seeing that happens. If a child can't read or do math, that child has no future.
You're right. Thank you for you give me the opportunity to interview you about the future of the prosperous state of the North Carolina. When you will hold the position of the district senator, we pray that God will bless you with a good health and win in election for the North Carolina State Senator.
Well, thank you so
and
much.
Bring the prosperity to all the North Carolina people. Thank you very, very much.
That is definitely our shared goal. And your viewers will have the opportunity to vote for me in the Republican primary in March 2026. So I ask you to vote for Stacie McGinn in the Republican primary in March 2026. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the Carolina viewer. Please vote Stacie in the March
2026. The primary.
Yeah, primary.
March 2026.
Yeah. Please make the Mecklenburg and North Carolina great again.